Good morning, everyone. My name is Rob. I work in the product info office at Flora. We're going to take a look at the elderberry and ginger and lemon and turmeric and cinnamon apple cider vinegar shots this morning. I've got some people on the phone, some people online. I'm going to mute the phone lines just so we can get a clean, quiet recording, and then I'll open it up for questions at the end. So if you have questions on the phone, you'll be able to speak obviously that way. And if you have questions online, if you're joining us on the computer, there's a little sort of UI chat box that you can enter a question in the top right. It's a pretty quick presentation. There's about 10 slides, so we'll have plenty of time for questions at the end. So I'm just going to put everyone on mute for the moment. So we're taking a look at the first opening intro slide, and it's got a nice product shot, some apples, and all of the 3 flavors for the apple cider vinegar. So those are the 3.3 fluid ounce, the 100 milliliter single serving shots there. And we'll take a look at the next slide. This is a little closer look. We've got the 3 flavors, turmeric and cinnamon, elderberry, and ginger and lemon flavor. So there's 2 sizes. There's the single shot, that 3.3 fluid ounce, and then there's also a larger 17 fluid ounce one as well. Okay, we're going to go to slide 3. The features of the product. So all of these are certified organic. They're non-GMO project verified. And what's unique for us for this apple cider vinegar wellness shot is that we are putting 7 of our 8 fluorescence herbs in there. So that's obviously something no one else is going to have. Those contribute to supporting digestion for the product as a whole. The only one fluorescence herb that's not included is watercress, and that's because that one's not certified organic, and we wanted the whole product, all the ingredients here, to be certified organic. They're caffeine and gluten-free, they're vegan, and as far as the herbs and the spices, like ginger and clove and cinnamon, all of those are ground freshly on site by Flora, and the herbs are extracted as well by us. The elderberry version of the shots use our Flora elderberry crystals. And as far as the ingredient sourcing, I know we get a lot of questions more and more about what countries certain ingredients are coming from. And the apple cider vinegar is coming from the United States. And in some of the other cases, we've got turmeric, for example, coming from India, which has a long history of use there. And then also cinnamon, which we're using true cinnamon, the cinnamomum species, and it's coming from Asia, countries like Indonesia and Vietnam. Okay, we're going to switch to the next slide, which takes a closer look at manufacturing and how these are made. So they're brewed in small batches using the freshly ground herbs, blended in with the apple cider vinegar, and then the 7 fluorescence herbs. And it's a process where things are added, and it takes between 6 to 24 hours. Different ingredients are added at different stages, and it goes through a water infusion and decoction process. So lots and lots of time for all of the different ingredients to mix and the flavors to meld together. Decoction means that there's a higher temperature and some boiling and simmering involved. And the apple cider vinegar itself is made in this 2-step process where they use both yeast and bacteria. So first the juice is converted into, the apple juice is converted into alcohol, and then the second step of the process, it's converted into these acids, which is what gives apple cider vinegar its distinct qualities and tastes. So those are acids like acetic and malic acid. And in the finished product, our quality assurance lab, they test for markers like acetic acid. And it's about 0.5 to 0.6% in the finished product. And as compared with normal vinegar, it's about 4 to 6% if you were just drinking straight vinegar. So it won't be as strong as acidity. And so for people who maybe have a bit more of a sensitive system, it'll be a bit of a smoother drinking experience than just straight apple cider vinegar on its own. Okay, we're going to switch to the first flavor, turmeric and cinnamon. And this gives you a breakdown of all the ingredients. So it's in descending order as well. So we've got the fluorescence herbs first with water, and then the various, go back one. And then the various spices like the cinnamon, the clove, and the black pepper are added. So a little bit lesser amounts at the end. There is a little bit of sugar just from concentrated apple juice that's in there. Certified organic, and for this particular flavor, you've got a lot of complex, earthy, sort of spicy notes that blend with the apple cider vinegar. And this is a great one for digestive health in general. Turmeric and cinnamon are well-known digestive herbs. They can help with things like if you get a little bit of indigestion or gas or cramping, it can help to relieve that. And in general, for apple cider vinegar, some people find that it can help their digestion if they're, excuse me, having digestive problems because of too little stomach acid. And sometimes people get heartburn or acid reflux because of too little stomach acid. And for those people, apple cider vinegar and drinks like this might help. Okay, we're going to switch to the next flavor, which is elderberry. So a little bit of a fruitier one. This is one of my favorite ones. Hopefully you've all had a chance to try them or will in the near future. But again, this is break down the ingredients where it's from most to least in terms of the order. And so we've got the fluorescence herbs first, apple cider vinegar, then the apple juice, and then the elderberry juice powder. So from our crystal product that's added in. And so those elderberry crystals, those are coming from France. Certified organic, and this one has a little bit of a fruitier flavor. Elderberry and the herbs that are in there. So this is, again, a great one for digestive health. Elderberry is known for immune health. I would say that if you are looking for something to really support immune health, you might be better off to take just the straight elderberry crystals. It has more of a medicinal dose of elderberry, but in this one, this is going to add a lot to the flavor, and then you're still going to get the digestive benefits from all of the other ingredients. Okay, let's switch to the next one, the last flavor, ginger and lemon. So ginger is a well-known one for digestive health. It's quite warming, and the flavor in this case, if you tasted it, the ginger really comes through nicely. And it is right after water, so quite high on the ingredient list. And ginger is good if you get indigestion, stomach problems after meals. If you have a little bit of bloating or cramping, ginger is a great herb to add in. And then the fluorescence herbs, and then the apple cider vinegar, and the juice, and then natural lemon flavor, which is made from lemon itself. It's just not the whole lemon, but it is based on lemon, the fruit. Certified organic, and in this case, you'll notice because of the lemon, it has a little bit of a sweeter citrus sort of flavor to it. And for this size, the 3.3 ounce, the smaller one, you take that as a single shot. For the larger one, the 17 fluid ounce, you'll notice on the label, it does say 5 100 milliliter shots in there. If you're looking at the supplement facts, it breaks it down according to 120 milliliters, and there's sort of a long story behind that. Based on the fact that for supplement facts for the serving size, it has to be based on a common household measuring, and for some reason 100 milliliter doesn't make the cut as something that you can measure with a household utensil of some kind, and so 120 milliliters is what is written on the supplement facts as the serving size. So people could take 120, they could take 100, both are fine. The next slide, suggested use. It's pretty simple. If you have the 3.3 ounce, you're going to drink that entire bottle. If you have the larger one, you want to refrigerate that after opening, and then just like many of our products that need refrigeration, try to finish it up within 4 weeks. Should be pretty easy. You're going to have about 4 or 5 different servings if you have the large size. Best time to take it. I find because these are so good for digestion, I will take it maybe about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes before eating, just to give it enough time to get in the system and stimulate appetite and digestive juices, and then have a meal or have a snack of some kind. We'll take, just for educational, for interest sake, there is a slide on vinegar research, some of which covers apple cider vinegar specifically. So this is for interest sake, just to let you know what some of the research that's out there to do with apple cider vinegar has covered. So things like modest weight control, and it was quite small, but it's sort of in that direction. After people took apple cider vinegar for 12 weeks, there was a little bit of weight loss, and the numbers are there, 2.6 pounds for people taking a tablespoon, and 4.2 pounds for people taking 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters. And the thought is that it seems like the vinegar increases fat oxidation enzymes. And so that may be the reason behind that. And then also there is a little bit of research about apple cider vinegar and its effects on slowing how quickly your body absorbs sugar, absorbs glucose. And so that has an effect on balancing blood sugar and insulin release. So that might be due to the fact that vinegar is slowing down gastric emptying. So the sugars, if you are consuming sugars with your meals, that it doesn't get into the system like all at once. It's a little bit more delayed. Just makes for a smoother blood sugar balance. The last set of research area, the topic was cholesterol and blood lipids. And so there was a little bit of research about just in animal studies, looking at triglycerides and good cholesterol versus bad cholesterol, and the effect that the apple cider vinegar had on those, and then also providing some antioxidant effects, so protecting against free radicals in liver and kidney damage. So again, these aren't product claims that we're making. This is just for interest sake on some of the research that's out there on what vinegar does. And short but sweet, that was the last slide. So we're right at the end for questions. I'll see if I have any other details for you first as well. Generally, I think of these products, when you taste them, they have sort of a refreshing, tangy taste to them that wake up your taste buds. And I look at them as sort of, if you don't want to take something as strong and medicinal as our Swedish bitters, for example, but you do want something that helps with digestion, these are perfect. And some people bitters are too strong for them, and so these would be a great alternative. They're also unfiltered, so they do contain what's called the mother, which is sort of some of the sediment from the apples, and then also the bacteria and the yeast that were used to ferment the apple cider vinegar. Those are still intact. They're not alive, but they are still in there. So the mother is in the formula. It's not filtered out. Okay, I'll open up the phone lines so you guys can have a chance to speak. And if you have any questions online, you can start typing them into the chat box too. Can you hear me on the phone? Are you able to speak? If you've muted yourself, you can press #6.
Loud and clear.
Perfect, okay. Does anyone have any questions on the phone?
Quick question. So I just want to make sure I understood this correctly. So all of the ingredients are from the USA, excluding their cinnamon and turmeric?
The other ingredients, so the apple ingredients are from the USA. The fluorescence ones, so those herbs are sourced from, some are from Europe and some are from North America. So not exclusively the US.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, we've got some questions online. I'm going to try to make this a little bigger. What type of apple is used to prepare? So that's a good question. I don't know the variety of apple. Our purchasing department, I've posed that question to them, so they're going to check and see. I'm not sure if the variety, if that would come through as far as noticing a flavor difference. Maybe it would for some people, but if I do get that detail back, I'll let you know. If you ever want to contact us with a question, info@florahealth.com is our email as well. But if I find out the variety of apple, then we'll get that communicated out to y'all. I see that question came out twice. Fluorescence, is there a full shot of fluorescence per shot of the apple cider vinegar? No, it's not a full dose, no. It's a significant amount. It's noticeable in there. It's quite high in the ingredient list, but it's not the same as taking a full dosage. So we couldn't say this is like a 2-in-1 product or anything. I think these are awesome. Someone said that's awesome. Thank you. How much or how many of the shots can be taken in a day? There isn't a set answer or a set limit. It would really come down to the person and how much vinegar they want to take. Really, I think for myself, one before each meal would not be too much, but I don't know if I would push it beyond that. You know, people's tolerance might vary a little bit, so you can experiment and see. I would just start slowly if you want to take multiple shots or multiple doses in the day. A question asked online, does apple cider vinegar impact your body to absorb potassium? It does stimulate digestion, and that's only going to help in terms of absorbing nutrients. There is some potassium, there's 110 milligrams of potassium per dose as well in the product, so it does give you some to start with. And a tiny little bit of iron too as well. One question, does Flora make the apple cider vinegar? No, we don't make the apple cider vinegar ourselves. We do purchase that as an ingredient, and then we put it into the whole formula when we're making it. And someone is wondering if I can put it back to slide 1. So sure, we'll go all the way back to the beginning to the intro slide. I think that's what you're referring to. Can it be diluted with water is another question. You can, if you like. You're not, I would say you're not going to get quite the same, obviously the taste, you might not get quite the same digestive benefits if you do that as well, because tasting it, having it interact with your taste buds, that's part of the way that it works for digestion. So if you're diluting it, you might not notice the benefits quite as much. You can do it though. Some people are just more sensitive than others that way. So you could try that out if you need to. Any other questions on the phone?
Well, I'd like to know are there very many other vinegars out there like the competition, and what would make ours better?
What would make ours better is the fluorescence herbs themselves. No one else is going to have that. And those do contribute quite a lot to digestion. The quality control is something, it's hard to know sometimes what quality control other companies do, but that's something that would come through in the taste. So in terms of measuring the finished product, that's something where we do test the acids, the acetic acid in it, to guarantee a certain amount. So that's something definitely worth mentioning, and some of the competition may or may not do that. Also, grinding the spices in-house, preparing them that way just makes them so much fresher. So you start with the whole cinnamon or the whole ginger, and then those things get cut and ground down, and that way there's less oxidation and more freshness to it. So that, again, is going to come through in the flavors. So when you taste it, you should notice a difference. And that's something that, again, with competition, some may not be as good, some may be as good. It'll vary a little bit, but the taste should be really, really a lot fresher because of the fact that they are done fresh in-house and ground that way.
So are there a lot of different vinegars out there?
I haven't personally taken a look and done a market analysis to see what the other products are at this point. Today we're just focusing on these ones that we're producing, but that's something that can be done, yeah.
Yeah, I think Dr. Bronner's is probably the most popular in the market.
There is I know there's Bragg's is one, but those ones, and I'm not sure.
That's what I meant. Sorry, not Dr. Bronner's.
Bragg's, yeah. So they're just straight apple cider vinegar though. As far as I know, I don't know if they make mixtures and things. So that's just straight up apple cider vinegar. So in this case with ours, you're getting other herbs in there, like the turmeric and cinnamon, the elderberry, the ginger. So those are gonna have they're gonna bring some positive benefits as far as digestion that are above and beyond what just apple cider vinegar does.
Do we know how much of the fluorescent herbs are in there compared to a regular dose of fluorescence that we suggest?
Yeah, the formula itself, the amounts of all the ingredients are proprietary, so we're not disclosing the exact amounts at this point. On the label, you'll see it says 108 grams proprietary blend, and that's referring to the whole formula, all of the ingredients. But we're not getting into specifics as far as giving out the exact amounts of certain things. It is sort of the recipe of the formula. Okay, gonna check quickly. This seems like there's some more online questions coming up. Are they safe for people with diabetes? So that's a good question. And again, it's not something that there's just a yes or no answer to. It really comes down to the person factoring in the sugar that they're taking. So there is 8 grams of sugar per shot, and that's coming from the apple juice. So there is the bonus of it being in apple cider vinegar, which we looked at how that might delay absorption of sugars. So for some people, yes. For some people, no. It's not something that we can really make like a general answer for, but they just need to factor in that they are going to be consuming some sugar. If they take this before a meal, for example, especially with type 2 diabetes, where it's more something controlled with diet and lifestyle, then this might be something that they could take, especially just before a meal, and then it shouldn't impact them that much. But it would be more of a case-by-case thing. I don't see any questions online or any new ones. So anything else on the phone? And if, again, I'll leave you that email address if something comes up, something pops into your head that you didn't think of in the moment here, you can always reach us, info@florahealth.com, or our phone number is on the products as well, 1-888-436-6697. But send us an email if you have a question, and I'll see if I can find out the variety of apples that were used too. So if there aren't any more questions, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you all for joining this morning, and hopefully we'll hear from you if you've got any questions down the road. And if you haven't had a chance yet,
All right.
please try these out. All right, have a good day, everyone.